I'm Marvin Plackett, and today is Thursday, May 14th. Greetings to all residents, to all staff, and to all guests. Since yesterday, we are reporting that we have one more positive case of COVID-19. This resident lives at Episcopal Church Home. So now that brings the total to, right now it brings the total to 8 confirmed cases. 6 of those confirmed cases are staff and 2 are residents. One resident lives at Seabury and the other one, as I just stated, lives at Episcopal Church Home. I want to remind everyone that as soon as we have a confirmed case, we immediately contact Trace to determine if others might be at risk and then proceed accordingly with testing and isolating. And we, of course, follow all health department regulations, CDC recommendations, CMS recommendations. The health department knows immediately of these cases when they are found to occur. A few days ago, I did mention to you as well that at Episcopal Church Home that we do have an assigned caseworker from the health department to help make sure that we are, or to be an added resource, to give advice. Should something be not quite the best practice, then they're giving us advice on what we might want to consider changed. We did have a health department survey both at the Gardens and at Episcopal Church Home this week. And the health department was very positive in their remarks about the systems, the procedures, the policies, the way we're doing things, the staff training that has occurred, the zoning that we've done in our campus, very positive remarks. And yet when there is a case, of course, we're always analyzing what might we do better. And so it is good to know that we do have the support of the health department behind us and the resources of the state of Minnesota. And to that end, as I mentioned a few days ago, there was a order that, or there was a pronouncement, let's put it that way, from the White House that asking all the governors, all the states to test all residents and staff at our nursing homes within the next 2 weeks. That is starting to unfold as we speak. There was a conference call with the health department today, a webinar, where they were talking about how organizations might be proceeding here in the very near future. So we're working on a plan to have substantially more testing, in particular focusing on our 2 nursing homes, our Episcopal Church Home, the Gardens, and then also our assisted living Iris Park Commons. That's where the focus is from the health department, because of course that is where the history of this COVID-19 that has shown that's where the frailest in our society, of course, are, and those that are the most vulnerable. So that's where the emphasis is at this time. So more to come on that front in terms of the timing of the testing and how it will unfold. I want to remind everybody the importance of all of us following the rules that we have in place. And in particular, I want to thank Jeff, a family member who called me this morning to talk about the fact that he or some have noticed that not all staff are always wearing their masks. And of course, some have reported to me that not all residents are always wearing their masks. So it doesn't matter. Resident, staff, the few additional people that come onto our campus because they must, like for instance hospice workers or other care providers, anybody who's on our campus or anywhere at Episcopal Homes, they need to be wearing a mask. Residents, staff, anybody else that's permitted on Episcopal Homes properties must be wearing a mask at all times, that they are not in their, like in my case, in my office, or if you're not in your particular room or your apartment. Anytime you're outside your apartment or your room or your office for staff, you need to be wearing a mask. Of course, all of us need to be practicing social distancing. That's not possible in our skilled care facilities. At Episcopal Church Home, and at the gardens. Because of the intensity of the support that is needed with the most frail amongst us, of course 6 feet of social distancing isn't possible many times, and that's why the wearing of the masks and the goggles at our skilled care facilities is so important. Same thing for assisted living. When that care is provided in close proximity, the mask and the goggles are so important for staff to be wearing them at all times and for residents to be wearing them. So a reminder of that. So sticking with your zones, staying within your communities, wearing your masks, social distancing wherever possible, social distancing, staying at least 6 feet apart, so very important. Once again, Jeff, thank you very much for that call that I received this morning from you. Governor Wallace, of course, had an address, a short address last night at 6 o'clock p.m. and he talked about opening up our society some, opening up our state. And it's very limited at this point. It is going, starting on Monday, some retail, or most retail is going to be permitted, but they must have a plan for maintaining social distancing. Bars, restaurants, barbershops, and salons will not be able to, let's say, I'll read it word for word. Bars, restaurants, barbershops, and salons could open as early as June 1. I know that there are a lot of people wanting to get their hair done, getting a haircut or hair done, however they do it, and that is not opening at this time. That's not opening on Monday. The soonest it could be on June 1, more to come from the governor at a later date. So we'll see about that. And here I want to read a direct quote from Governor Walz yesterday. The stay-at-home order is expiring and the dials are turning, but that doesn't mean we are carefree and can return to the way things were, Walz said. It means we have to stay safe, take care, care for our own health, and care for our neighbor. That's exactly right. So on our campus, at this time, nothing is changing. All of the practices that I've just outlined, the rules that I've just outlined, they remain in place at this time at Episcopal homes. And if anything changes, I will promptly let you know. Switching gears for a minute to something a little lighter, I need to announce the winners of the talent show. For those of you that were watching the talent show, it would have been on Tuesday, I believe. And I failed to bring the list. Jess, thank you for bringing it to me. I failed to bring it, but we have someone here in the audience who has a great memory. So taking third place was the Chubby Bunnies, the Chubby Bunny contest. And those two that participated in that were Mariah and Brandon. Mariah and Brandon taking third place, Chubby Bunny contest. That was funny, if you had a chance to see it. And taking second place, Clarence singing
Under the Boardwalk.
Under the Boardwalk. He did a great job. Thank you, Clarence, for that, taking second place. And taking first place, Sarah singing Over the Rainbow. Again, a wonderful job. And if you didn't have a chance to see it live, it will be posted eventually on our website and on Facebook, so you get a chance to watch those. Thank you to the participants, and I should say, participants included not only those that the 5 acts, but also you, those of you that were watching and chose to vote. Thank you for participating in that way, because you are the ones that decided the winners. Appreciate that a great deal. So today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. I will see you tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 like usual. And now for some words from Phil Rose.
Unfortunately, Spiritual Life had an act, but we couldn't be here because 2 of us were out getting corona tests. So anyway, I found this lovely poem that was written on March 20th by Carson Gardner that I think is very fitting. It has a little more serious tone than we usually do, but I think it's really wonderful poem. balanced on a fallen log. Crossing raging torrent, balanced on a fallen log. Behind a distant hungry howl, before a thick and chilling fog. The sun should break through any time, show ahead a meadow, calm, serene. Still I teeter here through cloud and flood, this moment blind to pleasant scene. In a week, a month, a year, this angst will fade in memory, diminished for survivors, and moot for those swept out to sea. It doesn't really matter now how the sturdy bridge was missed. Was it simply never built at all, or deleted from mapmaker's list? I'm here, right now, in any case, and that's the one sure thing. Except for those who wait behind, a song of hope I sing. Crossing raging torrent, balanced on a fallen log, I sing my hope to guide the way beyond this lonely, dreadful slog. My song may not sound beautiful, but it does ring strong and sure. Come on, step up, don't hesitate. In line together, we'll endure. Thank you for listening, and I will be back at 3:30, and until then, be well.